Okay. Sorry to refocus there. I was really pleased from a special team standpoint tonight. We really went live in every phase of special teams, and I was very encouraged, especially in the return game. I thought Adori's return was really good. I thought Juju's was blocked well and had a nice return. And the thing about it, we put some pretty quality players on the scout teams to cover. We were trying to get a really very realistic look at it, and I thought Adori's especially was a pretty spectacular return. I thought the protection stuff was good for us. I thought the kick coverage unit was good, but that aspect of the game was very important to me. Today, I thought early on when we were going ones versus twos, I was encouraged by the fact that our ones really dominated the twos. And not that our twos aren't good players, but I thought the execution on both sides from the ones was really good when it was ones versus the twos. I thought that we were really efficient offensively. I thought defensively there was some 3-and-outs, doing a nice job. And then when we went goods on goods, I thought the offense did some decent stuff moving the ball, especially in the backed up portion, and then kind of sputtered. But the whole idea was to get out of there when we were backed up, and then had a good first drive in the red zone, and then the defense stepped up and made their plays. And so that's how it should be when we're going goods on goods. So all in all, it's positive. I don't think we came away with anything real serious. We are going to check on Khalil Rogers' knee to see where that's at. But outside of that, we feel pretty comfortable from a health standpoint and energy standpoint. These guys are deserving a well-deserved day off tomorrow, and then we'll really start cranking it up into game plan mode here on Wednesday.
What happened to Trey Madden?
He's jammed his toe, his turf toe, I guess if you want to call it specifically. He was pretty adamant he wanted to play and would play if it were a game. We took the kind of the precautionary route and took him out. We really tried to treat this somewhat like a preseason game in essence, and if we tried to extend our ones a little bit more. They played live football, more plays today than they did in the previous scrimmage. We had about the same number of plays, right around 100 plays again, but the entire scrimmage was live, and so it was a little more physical, and the ones got a little bit more work.
What do you think of
Khalil Mama?
Yeah, I think Damien's really come along and has done some nice stuff for us. I think Vianney has. We saw the most out of Andre Walker tonight that we've had all training camp. Obviously, he played right tackle tonight, and that was to see him at right tackle. We just haven't had a chance to see that. So he's obviously very viable for us at right guard as well. So I've said this all along. We probably have more depth on the offensive line than we get credit for. And that's just a tribute to the three young guys and what they've been able to bring in Toa, Vianney, and Damien, quite honestly.
With the system that you run, have you or would you ever rotate offensive linemen?
For sure. We're planning on doing it already. Go ahead, Gary.
Are you done?
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
I know. No, it's okay.
Normally I'm very long-winded. That was just an easy one to answer.
You've held Nelson out of the scrimmages, but where do you feel the receiver group is right now?
We have a lot of guys. I think Nelson is playing at a very high level. I think that we've seen some real spurts out of Victor Blackwell, George Farmer, Darius Rogers, and then I'd be remiss to not mention Juju and Ajane. So I think we have a lot of bodies. I think we want to get more out of Stephen Mitchell than we've gotten because we know how talented he can be. And obviously, since Adori's been back, we've kept him on defense to keep him going. You'll see him some more on the offensive side as well. So I feel good about the group because we are talented. We're going to have to probably rely on all of them to contribute because I don't know. When you're starting to play that many young players, some of them are going to come out here. And, I wish they all wouldn't, but some of them are going to come out here and get a little wide-eyed initially, and we're going to have to work them through that. So there may be some growing pains there early on, and it'll be a task on the staff for the staff on game day to get a feel for who's into the flow of the game and who's looking around at the stands a little bit. But that doesn't mean they can't play. We just have to work through that. So it's a luxury for us. We have a lot of players that have performed at a high level. It's just finding the right rotation. But number 15 will be a guy that will find the football, that's for sure.
One more. What did you think of Scott Felix's performance tonight? And in general, just is it difficult because he seems like he's so intense and he's always kind of buzzing around the quarterback to make sure he doesn't hit the quarterback as happened tonight?
Scott's very active. He's a really active player. It's probably the best way for me to describe him. I thought he had a great spring. I thought he really came out in the first portion of training camp and was on fire again. And then he kind of strained his knee for whatever reason. It was nothing structural at all. It just kind of slowed him down for a little bit. But the last few days he's been back playing the way we've seen him play. When he's playing like that, and with JR on the other side, and I mean those guys are two forces, because we know the pocket's going to get pushed back. We know what Antoine and Leonard and Claude and Delvon can do on the inside, and with those guys coming off the edge, it makes it difficult, and made it difficult for us tonight at times. So it's a nice place for us to be in. But Scott is really starting to come into his own. I think he has a chance to really kind of emerge onto the scene, and maybe remind us of a couple other guys that have come off the edge here in years past. So I'm excited for him. He's really worked at it, and I'm happy for him.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, have a great night.
Thanks.